gathering the lot of them, arranging them in their sequence of events, and presenting them to you, my discerning readership. The events that are herein chronicled began in the year of our Lord 1748. It has taken me years to gather these letters through blackmail, bribery, theft, debauchery, and downright barbarism from the hands into which they have fallen. I have changed no name. I have blunted no edges. I only ask that as you read the lives of these poor souls laid bare, you do so and measure them against that most honest of all yardsticks, the very secrets that you yourself withhold. My dear reader, as I sit in my study composing the preface to this volume, I imagine you, some 276 years in the future, perhaps, sitting in your cozy study with your feet up on your ottoman, roasting your stockinged feet by the cheerful fire in your fireplace, and holding this volume in your hands, you press against the soft brown leather. Your imagination runs away with you. Your anticipation is fevered. So excited are you that even without opening the book, you can imagine what the people who populate these pages look like. So in tune is your imagination with the words of these pages that you can guess, even without opening the book, out of the 5 people standing in the forefront of your imagination, which one of them has written the first letter. I can even imagine that on the count of 3, you will shout out the color of the outfit they're wearing. 1, 2, 3! Blue. Yes. Dear reader, did you say blue?
I did.
If you did, because I wouldn't know because you're 276 years in the future. You are correct! And, dear reader, I can also imagine that so excited with this little guessing game you are, that you could guess which of these 4 remaining people is receiving the first letter. And on the count of 3, I imagine you shout that out. 1, 2, 3! Purple! Did you say purple?
Did.
If you did, you are correct. Now, my dear reader, as you imagine the first letter writer sitting at her desk, so nervous she knocks everything over, and hurriedly replaces her pen and ink. Why, dear reader, can you guess, why is she so flustered at this moment? 1, 2, 3!
Affair.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Because she is having an affair. My dear reader, sit back, open your book, and enjoy a series of scandalous letters and dangerous liaisons.
Madame Claire to Monsieur Pierre. My dearest brother, I write to you in hopes that you will not judge me and that you will hold the same sibling love in your heart for me as always. For you see, the other day while I was at the lake, there was a handsome lawyer that showed up. And I was so nervous, feeding the ducks, I did not hear him approaching.
Hello. Oh, forgive me, I'm just a handsome lawyer.
Hello, monsieur.
I have not seen you here at Lake Pascal before.
Well, my husband, he lives just in that estate. We just moved into his home.
Oh, you're married.
Yes.
How unfortunate. It isn't often the neighborhood sees a woman of such delight.
I must admit, brother, it felt pleasant to receive such kind words from a stranger, but I tried to keep my head on my shoulders. So, monsieur, whereabouts do you live?
Oh, I live in that mansion up on that hill over there.
It's so glorious.
Do you like it?
It's charming, but I love my home as well.
You must come and visit sometime, you and your husband.
Oh, we would love that. Yes, or maybe he might be busy, I don't know.
My name is Claude. Claude Agnew.
Claire Mouton.
Ah, Mouton. From the Debenois Moutons?
Yes? Do you know of us?
Do I know of you? The Moutons are quite famous, well known for their grace and beauty.
Well, I should say that now that I'm married, I'm no longer a Mouton. I keep forgetting that I am wed to a interesting man. He is quite special.
It seems you have run out of bread to feed the ducks. May I offer you some of mine?
Oh, why, thank you. You must enjoy coming to feed the ducks as well?
I do.
Well, you will have to introduce me to everyone in this town, for I know no one in this area.
You know, there is a way of feeding the ducks that gather their attention more readily. May I help you?
By all means.
Oh, please.
Oh, I see that they're enjoying this so much more.
Well, my dear, I would like to have an affair with you.
And that, my brother, I was shook to my core. I was so nervous, I knocked over the picnic basket I had.
Oh, my dear, oh! A bottle of champagne.
Wow, that's magnificent. And I must tell you, brother, in that moment, my judgment was impaired. It was between the nervousness and the champagne. I don't know what came over myself, but... Monsieur, would you like to go to your mansion?
Indeed I would. We shall give the champagne to the ducks.
So, my dear brother, I do not know what else I should do, for as loyal as I am to my husband, my heart has been awoken to someone else. I miss you, and I hope to see you soon. Love, your sister, Claire.
Pierre Mouton to Marie Cheval. Marie, I write to you with fog of war in my heart. My sister has committed the most atrocious of crimes. She is having an affair.
I thought you were going to say she killed somebody. That's horrible.
She, married to the greatest piss boy in the land, is now meeting with a lawyer. Can you believe it? going from piss boy to lawyer. Well, it's no surprise what happened at the chateau that very same night after I met with her. There she was, pompously powdering her cheeks, as if she had not just betrayed her husband's trust. She looked like she was glowing. Oh, my mother and my father do love her so, but if they knew what she was into, oh, she would simply fall down the ladder of their graces. You look proud of yourself, sister.
My brother, you came.
Mwah, mwah. I did. I cannot believe what you are doing, my sister. Do you love this lawyer of yours?
I would not call it love exactly, but I guess maybe I could love him.
It seems only yesterday we were having this conversation about your husband.
My dear, I'm home!
Henri!
Best not, I'm just returning from work.
Monsieur Henri!
My favorite brother-in-law.
Yes.
My son-in-law and my two beautiful children.
Well,
Come have a seat.
Thank you. I must rest my aching back.
so glad am I to see you both.
Yes.
Yes. What news? What news? I see a new glow upon your face, daughter.
Yes, my dearest love, I must confess there seems to be something different about you. A new aroma you're wearing, perhaps. A perfume? Aroma indeed.
It's a new cream from Paris.
Oh, it's a cream,
supposed to
all
make you glow.
Well, if you'll all excuse me, I must get changed before dinner. I've had a long day in the courts attending to His Majesty, and, well, you know, excuse me.
Well, Martin, please, a brief moment, for I do want to say that I am going to make a new celebration for your first year of being wed. I have invited all of the town.
Oh, how splendid!
Yes, and we shall hopefully be able to make a new surprise if I were to hear that perhaps a child will be on its way.
Oh, we will let you know.
Oh, very well. Well, I do look forward to having...
What you did not know at that moment is that she was, in fact, with child.
Nonetheless, it'll be a surprise in 1 week's time. Please, Martin, let us be off.
Yes.
My dearest sister, I do hope you enjoy your celebration.
Pierre, you laugh as if you mock me. I cannot stand you think of me less of a person that I made a poor judgment.
Poor judgment. With a lawyer. Ah, it's precious. Well, I shall leave you to your devices, my dearest sister. Mwah, mwah. And so I laughed all the way to my stable. But I grabbed my poles, and I did what I always do. Be a locksmith. So, Marie, I do wish you the best and hope to see you soon. Monsieur Mouton.
From Marie to Celeste. My dear best friend, you are not going to believe this. Claire is having an affair. Yes, I know. I know that look. I can picture your face right now. You are looking disgusted. It's a lawyer, for God's sakes. There is a right way and a wrong way to have an affair, and we need to teach her. So, I've asked our friend, Gretty, to meet me at the tea garden for a potluck. I do hope you can join us, but I do need to tell you what happened when I talked to her. Gretty. Oh, Gretty.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
My darling.
Are you ready to learn the ways of the affairs?
I already know a few of my own tricks to have an affair, but we do need to teach our Claire. She's having an affair with a lawyer.
Oh dear.
And she doesn't know the first thing about having an affair.
But does she know about law?
Don't.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, she's going about flaunting it. Everybody saw her at the duck pond. You don't have an affair at a duck pond. If you're going to have one, you need to have one in a barn where nobody's going to see you. Oh dear, it's a scandal.
Mademoiselle, you are mistaken.
How am I mistaken?
The best way to have an affair is with a lawyer.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, tell me then. Perhaps I need to learn something. We only have one lawyer in town, though, so I suppose I'll go to another town if I like what you tell me.
Lawyers know everything legal. They can arrange for marriages to cease to exist.
So you think that he'd like to try to annul her marriage? Well, then what good is an affair if you can't have it in secret? That's more fun.
I don't know. You're speaking to someone who is not very good at these kinds of matters.
Oh, Celeste, we have so much work to do. Darling, what shall we do to help her? I mean, I think we're going to have to meet her. All of the women in this town need to help her understand how you're going to have a proper affair.
Indeed.
Forgive me, I was not aware this room was taken.
Sir, if you're ever interested in having an affair, here's my card.
I'm afraid I'm all ready.
Oh, and then Celeste, this very handsome man came in the middle of our conversation. I don't know what he wanted, but I thought I should fix my hair.
Hello, madame.
May I help you?
Yes, in fact, I'm meeting a friend of mine here, one Jean-Paul.
Jean-Paul.
Yes.
Here in the tea garden?
Indeed.
This is a ladies-only tea garden.
I know. This way, none of the other men will see us.
Are you having an affair?
John-Paul and I?
It's the perfect place for an affair, then, if you're a man and you're in an all-women's tea garden.
John-Paul and I no longer have affairs.
Oh. Well, what business, then, do you have of Jean-Paul?
Why don't you wait? I'm sure he'll come any moment.
Well,
Dressed in
this
his
isn't-
characteristic work
This
clothes.
is terribly intriguing.
Ah, was this taken?
Please, come in. This is an all-women's tea garden. Why don't you join the crowd?
I did not know we would have company.
I was unaware that the garden was occupied, but that's all right. She cares to listen to our conversation. Jean-Paul, my good friend, so good to see you.
Oh, yes, so good to see you as well.
Well, unlike any man, Celeste, they totally made me invisible.
Jean-Paul, I am having an affair with a beautiful woman who's pregnant with my child.
Celeste! She's having a child. Of course, I think I knew that.
And yet, I care not if you hear what I say.
And why is that?
Because, Jean-Paul, shame of all things, I have fallen in love with her.
Now, that is not how you have an affair. You don't fall in love. You simply use their bodies for your pleasure.
Monsieur, I've looked up to you my entire life. I've followed in your footsteps. You took me in under your wing. Now you break my heart with this news.
I know. Perhaps, Madame, it is all to the best that you are here. Help me. Don't you see the pickle I'm in? I am a lawyer. I am a reprobate, a rake. Jean-Paul is my protege. I have taken him under my wing to teach him how to debauch and defame, to teach him how to rove the land from one lady's lap to another. And here I am, shamefacedly, head over heels in love.
Well, this is dreadful. Now you're going to have to join our support group for people who have to learn how to have affairs. For God's sakes, doesn't anybody know what to do around here?
Tell me, Madame, are you equally as talented in teaching one to fall out of love after love?
Yes, of course I am.
Then teach me, help me, the two of you. I can't be trapped thus.
And dear Celeste, that's where I had to leave them to start taking notes. The class on how to not fall in love after you have fallen in love will be commencing on another date to be decided. So, my dear Celeste, we have work to do. Yours, Marie.
Celeste to Pierre. My dear friend and fun little secret lover at times, we are in quite the pickle, are you not? It appears that the Moutons are now quite the talk of the town, since this lawyer, among other apparent large things, has quite a large tongue and mouth. He has been talking about said affair all over town. I must tell you what I overheard while I was at the Moss. Oh, the Mass? The Mass at the church, where I met a tea hostess who had quite something to say.
Did you enjoy the Mass?
It was rather churchy. So, thank you. I thought, are my friends not here yet?
Oh, no, they have not arrived. You look troubled, my dear.
Rather troubled.
Wait, oh, well, here your friends have arrived.
My friends looked quite anxious. Well, hello there. You seem rather anxious.
This feels like an intervention of sorts.
Well, it is, darling. If you're going to have an affair, you need to do it in secret. This is an intervention, so we can teach you how to do that. But it almost might be too late, since the whole town is talking about it.
The whole town?
Yes!
This is why you should never have an affair with a lawyer. They'd like to talk.
Or maybe you shouldn't be having an affair at all.
You didn't see him feed the ducks.
He's in love with you, you know.
Yes?
She seemed to blush
You're not supposed to smile here.
and get rather sweaty.
Yes, he is.
Claude,
Claire.
this is a women's only tea house.
In a church.
Please leave.
Claire, I want to marry you.
Do you not know that she is already married?
But I am a lawyer. I can do lawyer things about that.
That's true.
There. Our baby grows in your body.
Are you also a psychic lawyer?
Yes. Claire, I admit that when I first met you at that duck pond, and when I first held your hand and helped you crush those breadcrumbs and sprinkle them delicately for the ducks, I was thinking of you as just another conquest. But I am here to tell you, with my heart on my sleeve, that you have conquered me. And for the first time in my adult life, I am in love. I want to marry you, my darling. I want to raise that baby as our own. I will give you everything you ever wanted, if only you would make me the happiest man in the world and consent to be my wife.
Claire! What is the meaning of this?
Marty's tea room is for ladies only.
I am off attending to the priests and their holy water.
He was
Only to
just
come looking for you and find you.
he was just practicing on her because he's proposing to me.
A lie! It's a bold-faced lie, sir. I have come to wed your wife.
You, sir?
Yes.
Why, you're nothing but a lowly lawyer. And you stand here in front of the high piss boy in the court of the King of France.
You shame me for my profession. We can't all have been born into a line of royal piss people.
Well, yes, it is true that I am of a line of succession that has held the bedpans from Louis XI through Louis XVI.
Do you see how he lords it over me?
And our child will continue that line. Yes, our child.
You see, Pierre, I have never seen a man weep as much as this lawyer did. And he just kept weeping.
Oh, please, there's no crying in the tea room.
But Claire, let us abscond from this tea room apse of the Holy Church. Back to our home where we make preparations for our massive party tonight where we announce the birth of our child.
Martin, please. I require you.
Excuse me, it should be but one of the moment. Come in, brother-in-law.
Is that your final answer, then?
It was her final answer, Pierre.
Then you should know, madame, if you have not made a husband, you have made an enemy.
This is why you need taking a fair lesson. They always go badly when you don't.
So, you see, Pierre, the Moutons are in quite the pickle. I shall see you later tonight in the woods at our normal spot. Signed yours, dearly, Celeste.
Monsieur Mouton, to Madame Claire. My dear sister, I cannot express with words how deliciously juicy your situation is to me. As you know, Papa and Mama have always preferred you. But I know your secret, girl. And so, I have brought Papa to his favorite drinking place, the hair salon, to discuss certain matters. And there he was, walking slowly, so slowly.
My boy.
Mwah, mwah. There, please, Papa, sit.
This is my wonderful friend whom I met just last night, Caroline.
Ah, Caroline. Mwah.
Yes, Caroline, please, take a respite.
Papa, did you enjoy the festivities?
I did, very much so.
Well, I hope you are indeed in a good mood.
Yes, the finest of moods. I'm going to be a grandpapa for the first time.
Ah, yes, of course you are, Papa. Papa, I hope you...
Very good, very good.
I hope you have reconsidered whom you are going to leave the chateau to.
Of course.
You have?
It will be to Claire, of course. For she is going to bear the bloodline of our family, and it will all be given to her. Here, I must tell you something, my son. Ever since the passing of your mother,
He said, weeping and kneeling and looking upon the heavens.
I have been a lonely man these past 7 years. I have felt even the deepest meaning of family and how important it is to have family nearby, to have true bloodline lead the way. And of course, if you were to be with child yourself, then it would have been you, but I must give it to my clan, and with other news to share, Caroline and I.
We're getting married! Yes!
And I may perhaps put another bread in the oven, as it were.
Papa, but you must reconsider. I am the firstborn. My mother and you have always put me in the back of the room whenever she is around. Not you, my sister, whenever she is around.
That is because we favored her more.
But Papa, do I not make you proud? I am the finest locksmith this side of the Nice River.
Yes, locksmith. You have a fine profession, my boy. It is not, of course, as luxurious as piss boy.
I know that, Papa, but...
Your father is very proud of you.
Yeah.
He talks often about how much you've overcome being so stupid and all.
Yes. You see, you've always been rather dull in the mind.
And ugly.
Yes, and ugly, of course. And quick to temper. So therefore, my son, as you can see, Claire would be the most obvious choice.
Of course, Papa.
Yes, very good. I'm glad you understand. Now, if you do not mind, Caroline and I must be off.
So, my dearest sister, I festered and festered, and I thought with my dull head. And I wish you to know that your secret shall be no longer. For come the night of the celebration, I will tell our father everything. Oh, and I'm going to marry my dear woman.
Not Celeste.
Yes, Celeste. In case you were wondering. And we shall have a child. And we shall have the chateau, and your life will be in tatters. Love, your brother.
Madame Claire to Mademoiselle Marie. Marie, I regret that I did not take your lessons sooner, for it would have saved me much pain and agony. The other night, at the grand celebration, we were all there, dancing away, all of us together.
Oh, my dear, it was a lovely evening.
Such a lovely evening, my love.
dear friends, my dearest papa, you. I am so happy to be present at my dearest sister's celebration of anniversary and promise of birth.
I hope you don't mind I invited my lawyer. What?
Oh, how lovely! Well, since you are here, I would like to make it known to the entirety of this party. Oh my God!
Marie! Claire! Somebody! Doctor!
Claire, my darling.
It must be the baby.
No!
Unhand her! You should know at once, sir. This is my baby! Lies! Your lies!
Are you all right? My dear, you look flushed.
Just douse her with some water! Not only is it my baby, but I am going to see to it that your marriage is annulled, and she shall marry me if it's the last thing I do!
You filthy villain! How dare you sully the doorstep of my homecoming here and spread such horrible, terrible rumors?
Claire, at once speak the truth. Let him know the truth. If you don't love me, fine, but at least let him know whose baby that is.
Yes, sister, tell him.
Is this some sort of a dramatic play?
No, Father!
Yes, the play.
It is not a play!
How delightful!
Her child is his! His child is hers! He is a piss boy! And I am with child! What? Well, I'm not me. I'm married.
You're married.
Yes, I know. And we are with child.
In love!
Yes.
How dare you to take away from our celebration to spread these lies at our celebration?
Claire,
Claire, please.
please.
Let your brother have his moment. We were just caught up in a moment of passion and wanted you to be able to celebrate births of not just one, but 2 grandchildren.
Is the words that speak tonight, is this true, my daughter? Claire, please tell me the truth.
I didn't have the heart to tell him the truth, so instead, I ran off into the gardens and hoped he would not find me.
Claire!
Claire!
This matter shall be settled soon enough. For all in the line of the #1 piss boy in all of France are born with a birthmark. A very particular birthmark. One in the shape of a bedpan. Right above their upper thigh area. When that child is born with said mark, you shall all see. The child is mine. You shall all see. Oh, Claire! Claire, wait for me!
And so, my dearest friend Marie, I do not know what I should do. My heart longs for Claude, but my allegiance is to my family and to Martine. If you need me, you will find me in the garden among the roses. Love, Claire.
From Marie to Claude. Dear Claude, I owe you an apology. I had a meeting with my best friend, Claire, in the parlor. We were meeting with a midwife.
Will the baby be here soon? No, not at all. Oh, I tire of carrying this giant person.
My dear Claire, am so sorry. You come to this town looking for friends, and you had no one when you first got here, and you embroiled yourself in a scandal right away. That usually doesn't happen for the first year.
I must say, it's important to decide who you wish to attend the birth. Now, it must be somebody that you absolutely trust wholeheartedly. Now, do you have that person in mind?
And do you wish to tell us, and we will hold it in confidence, whatever you say here in this room? Who do you wish to be with?
The father of my child.
And who might that be, dear? Do you know?
It is Claude.
And we shall find a way for you to be with your love. Do you indeed love him?
I do, but I just worry about my father and Martine, and this will wreck my family.
But it's your life. And if you're not happy, Freddie, if she's not happy, we're not happy.
Well, I do not wish to make either of you unhappy.
Well, we are unhappy, so you've done that.
Shame, shame.
Funny I wasn't invited to your little gathering.
My medical checkup?
Well, are we not best friends?
We are sisters, I assume now.
Soon to be.
Celeste, it's so important we help her.
Yes, we should help you. You should be with the man you love. And allow your brother to take care of your family.
That is your ulterior motive.
What is your motive?
My motive is love.
So be with who you love and let your brother have his family love.
I'm trying, Claude, truly. I want her to tell us what she wants.
Must you have everything? Must you have your love affair and your estate and the love of your family?
Yes, I want everything!
Well, that's just not how the world works. So it seems like you have an important decision to make.
And with that, Claude, she went off to sort out what she truly wanted. And with that, I hope it goes the way that you wish it to be, for, as I said, I do apologize. Yours, Marie.
Claude to Jean-Paul. My dear friend, I am a father. I had never anticipated such bliss and joy, but no. Let me tell you how it all happened. Jean-Paul, you must imagine your friend, Claude, pacing nervously in the antechamber, while Claire was off in her chamber, surrounded by the midwife and the various ladies of the town who gathered.
More.
That was only the beginning, Jean-Paul. The screams rose to a pitch unparalleled from human vocal cord ere that moment. And then I heard the baby cry.
Monsieur Claude, I hope I'm not interrupting your nervous pacing.
The baby.
He's Fine. They are checking his thigh now. But regardless, boy.
Claire, how's Claire?
She's alive and kicking. Unfortunately. My boy, I want you to grab life by the balls. I mean, hold the bull by the horns. That's what I mean.
He tried to take his foot out of his mouth, but only made it worse.
Regardless of what's happened in that boy's inner thigh, you must take them both. Take my sister, take the boy, and run far away and have a merry life. She is having doubts, you know.
Here's the baby. No, I thought that this here was some poop, but it looks to be a birthmark of some sort. Would you like to hold?
Shall I break it?
Don't break it. It's a baby.
I don't... Oh, Jean-Paul, out of all of the things I have cradled in my arms, never have I felt as transported as when I looked at that beautiful face. It was Claire's face, only smaller and more wrinkled. But those eyes, those lips, that could only be Claire's. Thank God, my darling.
Here we are, child.
You two very clearly love each other.
We do.
Then leave. Run away. Be with each other. Forget your husband.
Of the birthmark, is it a bedpan or not?
My
Jean-Paul, yes! 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 It was a bedpan, and the child was mine.
No, you fool, you've miswritten this.
This is Martine's.
Oh my God, I totally made a mistake.
This is Martine's.
Oh my God, it's not my child.
What am I to do?
Claire, it doesn't matter. You want us gone, don't you?
Yes.
Claire, the only one who knows that the child is not really ours is your brother. All your brother wants is the house. I am so wealthy, Claire. We have no need for these lands. I have chateaus all throughout Europe. Come with me. Let us take this baby and let us love the love you know you love.
I wanted us to be a family, but he is not your family.
It can be a family. We can be a family. Look me in the eyes and tell me, do you love me?
I love this child.
Do you love me?
No. No.
Oh, there she is. Oh.
Well,
Would you like to know?
as you can see, the child bears the mark. And so, in the eyes of man and God, lawyer is number 2, and piss boy number 1.
As the ladies came to escort Claire gently off into the recuperating room, I saw the piss boy obnoxiously adjust his gherkin. Far more pompously than necessary. Jean-Paul, I loved her. I hated her. I loved her. And though the child is not mine, I feel as if it is. And so, I am determined to win the love of that girl. I am determined to make that baby and that woman mine. I shall do it through any means necessary. And I guarantee you that I shall succeed or die. End of part 1. Part 2. Claude to Pierre. My dear friend, though we only know each other a short while, you and I have one aim in common. You wish your sister Claire to run off with me, and I wish to run off with your sister Claire. What stands in the way, my new friend? A certain man, fortunate enough to be born under the star of urine. But you must know, I have a friend at the royal court, one Robert le Clerc, a boyhood chum who has spent many an hour with me, drunk in various taverns around the town. It is good to see you.
Which one of you is speaking?
You,
the middle one.
You are drunk even now, while on duty at the royal palace.
It's the French way.
It is no strange decision, then, that you were made steward of the king's piss pot, in charge of all the piss boys.
Yes, it's a very lofty duty, as you know, and of course, I handle my fiefdom with aplomb.
My friend Robert, I need a favor.
What do you think, Claude?
You have a certain piss boy here.
Well, we have several.
Yes, the one who rises amongst them all to be the #1 piss boy.
Martin,
Yes.
a true prodigy. You know, his family's, the Les Petites, have held the esteemed position of #1 piss boy for half a century. Why, they're practically like family to me.
I need him destroyed. I need you to shame him and disgrace him and dismiss him from his position, Robert.
For you?
Yes.
Of course. You know what? Truthfully, those Les Petites have been eyeing my seat for the last 2 generations, trying to come after my heraldry over the piss pots. As if they were good enough to manage the piss pots. No! That is my job. Robert!
That is the Robert I know and love. He summoned Martine at once.
Martine.
Ah, Robert.
I see you are doing your job excellently today.
I hid behind a curtain so as not to be observed.
I have a most esteemed duty for you today.
Yes, of course.
In fact, it regards duty. I'm afraid that you're going to fill in on the backside of business today.
Well, it was a shameful demotion.
respect. There, I have always manned the front lines. I'm no rear guard.
Well, there's been some rumbling from the crown chambers, the gilded hall, if you know what I mean, that perhaps you are not made out for the front lines anymore. Your head seems distracted and not at all in the game. Could there be something going on in your household that is making you look too highly? Why, I heard the king even said you dared look him in the eye.
You know that I would never
Well,
look him in the eye.
I don't know anything.
Oh, Pierre, it was delicious to see him grovel and beg for his
But
job.
sir, I just had a new child. I need this work. Please.
Don't worry.
He said.
The kitchen scraps will still be available to your family.
And so, my friend, part 1 has been accomplished. I now leave it to you to employ your brilliance and further alienate your sister from your father. Your friend, Claude.
Monsieur Pierre Mouton, to my dear sister. Oh, Claire. Oh, Claire. Oh. Dear sister, I wish to tell you the conversation that I had with my father, for you know I love you oh so very much. I shall tell you about it. I met him, of course, at the church confessional.
Here you go, honey.
Ah, thank you, Caroline.
That woman was with him again.
Make sure you confess what you did last night.
I shall.
I was hiding inside of the father's area. The father was confuzzled.
That voice is familiar. Father?
It's your son!
What is the meaning of this?
Papa, are you aware that Monsieur Martin Lapetit is no longer his boy?
No longer. Piss Boy.
Oh, no.
What position does he take?
Well, he takes the rear now.
Oh!
Yes, Papa.
Oh!
You heard it.
Oh! Why? Why, Lord? Would you do such a thing to my family, to my daughter?
Well, there is nothing to fear, my dearest Papa.
Where's the holy water? I must pray. I must pray.
Papa, listen to me. You must not fear. You were worried about your legacy, yes?
Yes, of course, but who to take it?
Oh, but Papa, I have had a child as well.
You?
Yes.
With Celeste?
Yes. He is brittling 8.5 pounds bigger than her son.
My love, is it time to introduce?
Yes, my dearest, show him the boy.
We named it after you.
Yes.
Not it. I love my child.
His name shall be Henri.
Yes. That's his name, Henri Mouton, Papa. Just like you.
Then, my lord, this be the answer for which I have called for. Ah, he resembles me. What a boy, and what a boy.
Papa. So now, as you can see, There is no reason to be angry at my sister.
You are correct, for it is you that will take the family's name and be my heir. You will bring honor to our family, and never shall I have someone in the lowly position of poop boy to take over ever. Then we shall have a celebration. Tomorrow night I shall arrange it all in the main hall of the estate. Yoli!
And so, my dearest sister, you see, you no longer have a place in my chateau. And so I hope that you and your lover boy are free to disappear forever. And I shall never live in your shadow again. You'll live with your brother, Monsieur Mouton.
Madame Claire to Mademoiselle Marie. I am angry. I am frustrated. I am betrayed by my own brother, by my own father. I have nothing left in this world but my beautiful son and a chamber pot of a husband. Marie, I could hardly bear it last night at the celebration to christen the new child of my brother and his wife. Everyone was there, dancing, having a marvelous time, and there I was, standing next to the man I chose to be with.
And now I do declare this boy officially the Mouton.
I'm a grandma.
Caroline,
Oh, thank you.
will you, daughter Claire, come and embrace your brother in congratulatory manner?
Yes. Come, congratulate me. I am ready.
It is customary for the sister to kneel and kiss the ring upon his left hand.
I cannot do it.
What is the meaning of this?
Now, Claire, don't cause a stir.
You back away.
Your stench sickens me.
Oh, I hear murmurings.
You see, Papa? You see, Papa?
I see and I hear and I smell.
That is no way for a wife to treat her husband.
Speak for yourself. What do you have to say?
Papa, it is not fair that you are now favoring brother when you favored me all my life. It is not fair.
I understand your frustration, my dear. But you must know that it is written, it is the way of the family. The one who can carry the name with the most honor and respect shall be the one who is the heir. And you no longer have the position because of your husband. If only you were with another man, perhaps, but that be not the case.
Mère Marie, I saw all of my choices flash before my eyes.
Martin, when you are ready, I'm ready.
Marie, I felt sick to the pit of my stomach. I looked at my brother and his wife. Two people I thought were my family, but instead had an evil glint in their eye. I looked at my stepmother. She was sweet, but so dumb. I didn't have to look at my husband, I smelled him enough. Marie, I regret it all. The only good that has come from this is my son. I fear that if I were to run away today, no one would miss me.
should run away today, my sister. No one will miss you. Go with him. Look at me. Go with him. He waits for you upon the stables. He has 2 horses. Leave with your son.
So, Marie? You can find me packing my bags, gathering up my sweet little boy, Martine, and contemplating whether it is worth to risk it. Your dearest friend, Claire.
Oh dear. From Marie to Celeste. Celeste, my heart is hurt. I am so afraid right now for our dear Claire. I went to go find her. She was packing. I need to tell you what happened. I found her once again at a church. Claire.
Marie.
This is the perfect place to talk. It's quiet. Please, I must tell you something. Your letter scared me. I was so afraid that you were going to do something that you might regret later, so I need to tell you about myself. I too, a long time ago, was married. I know you don't believe that, but I had an affair, and I had a child. And you can see where I am now. I am alone. You don't see that child, do you?
Where is he?
He's grown up now. He wants nothing to do with me. His name is Robert. But you see, darling, I made mistakes that I regret. And I don't want to see you do that. I can see you doing what I did. And you need to follow your heart. And you've yet to say what that is.
My heart belongs to Claude. It has always belonged to Claude.
Then go to him. And don't look back. Or you will end up like this, alone. Celeste, I fear that I may not have reached her in that moment, but I thought it would be best to tell her what happens when you don't follow your heart. And I don't know that I did the right thing, Celeste. Perhaps you should stay with Martine and live the life that everyone expects, but perhaps I'm living my life through her, but I don't know. I think I'll just go to bed. Yours, Marie.
Celeste to my dearest love, Pierre.
My dear, it seems we have not been able to talk very much since we've been with child. I do miss your touch. Perhaps later on tonight when our baby's asleep. And if you're not too angry with me after I tell you this story. You know how much I love you and am so loyal to you. But I do also love my friend Claire. And so I met with Claude to see if I could help the situation. We met at the hoedown. It was a lovely affair. I need to get a workout in after the pregnancy. Hi there.
Hello, my lady.
Nice to see you.
I must confess, I am still a bit heartbroken, yet nonetheless a good hoedown always serves to lift my spirits.
He did seem in better spirits, and quite full of some spirits as well.
Would you like a mug of ale?
I shouldn't. I'm nursing.
What brings you to a hoedown unattended by your husband?
I was actually hoping to see you here. I heard you frequent the hoedowns.
I'm the biggest hoe that's down.
Yeah. So, have you seen Claire lately?
I have not. But I understand poor fortune has befell upon her husband.
It has.
And that good fortune has fallen upon you.
It has, and I am so grateful. And Claire is not happy. She's lost everything. And I happen to know that you and my dear husband has had something to do with that. And while I admit that I have benefited immensely from this, there is one thing that is missing, and that's you. Are you not just trying to create despair in her life? Where is the love?
Don't you see that I was willing to give her everything? She rejected me!
And now you've created space for you to come and be with her, but you have yet to show up.
I am biding my time, madame. But trust me, I have every intention of winning back, if not the love, at least the company of my Claire and that child.
Well, you better hurry, because she is in dire states, and me and my dear friend Marie are worried about her.
Fear not, my lady. My plan has come to fruition, for tonight I make my move.
Tonight?
This very night.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to assist?
Yes, I shall arrange for Claire to meet me in the lime garden.
She does love limes.
It would be helpful if you and your husband would be hiding behind the small grove, singing sweet tunes in order to create an atmosphere of romance.
How lovely. Okay, I can do that.
If you will find some way of convincing Claire to be at the lime garden tonight in 12 minutes.
12 minutes? So you do see, my dear, I had to hurry off and write you this letter because we are needed in about 6 minutes of time. So put on your pants, go find a babysitter, and get to the lime grove immediately. Yours truly, your love, Celeste.
Monsieur Mouton to Monsieur Agnon. Monsieur Agnon, it is quite silly that I have to recount the very events that you were present in yourself. But I shall either way. You see, we all were there in her lime garden, waiting for her to arrive.
Are you sure she's going to arrive?
I just told Marie. I met with her, and Marie has gathered a plan to have her show up.
I have known her my entire life, monsieur. And my...
She comes.
Go.
my lady.
Claude,
Do you hear the melody of love wafting on the winds?
it was as if the trees were singing it themselves.
Yes, believe if we listen closely, we'll hear it again. Never have the winds wafted more wonderfully.
Her hands were shaking, as you know, Monsieur Claude.
Claire, I know it has been a winding road that brings us here together, but things being as they are, can you not see fit to love me?
You said.
Claude, I do love you.
She replied.
Say it again.
I love you.
I saw a drip of sweat drip through your forehead, straight through your nose, and drip onto your cravat.
Forgive me, a drip of sweat from my nose to my cravat.
My dear, you seem nervous, as if you have a secret.
My only secret is that there is a coach and four waiting just behind the bend in the road. Come with me at once. Come with me. Bring our child, and let us have the life that we so richly deserve.
We walked to the coach, my dear friend, and we followed you, singing melodically. We were hidden behind the wheel. Coachman! Coachman! A burly man stepped forth. He climbed upon the horse as if he knew the horse and rode. My dear, it was uncomfortable for us.
Quite the bumpy ride.
Yes, we shall have the life that I have always dreamed of, my dear. But tell me, are you truly happy? Oh, I can see in your eyes that you are. I can see in your rose-petal lips. Our child shall grow up to know nothing of the Sturm and Drang of his poor childhood. All he should know is that he is the most loved child in the world.
That he is.
And so, monsieur, I write to you this letter as I know you and my dear sister have traveled to the Netherlands together. And I wish upon you a happy life far, far away from me. Yours truly, Monsieur Mouton.
Claude, to Jean-Paul. Jean-Paul, I write this letter from a cave in the mountains of the Netherlands, where I lie bloody and broken and bruised, clinging to dear life, with no recourse but to write this letter on a tear of my white shirt and with my own blood. Oh, but let me back up and tell you the horrible tale of how I ended up in this horrific state. There we were, Claire and I in the coach, when suddenly a band of Netherlandian pirates surrounded the coach. Get out! What is it? Coachman, what is on?
Aha! We've captured a good one here.
Yes,
Who are you, sir?
I've been on it the whole time.
Oh, they were three of the most horrific land pirates I had ever seen.
They just call us thieves usually.
Ah,
This one is quite fair and beautiful. She's with child.
Many fetching jewelry that she has.
Yes, and that child is worth much.
Let's ransom her, huh?
Unhand her at once, or I shall destroy you all!
Let's stuff them in that cave way up in the mountain.
They dragged me to the cave and gratuitously beat me further!
Let us take her now.
And so they took her, and they put her and my child into their land boat, or their coach. They rode their coach through the hills, through the valleys.
The baby and the horses.
I crawled behind them, following as fast as I could, and I peeked in a small crevice in the thieves' den where they brought her.
Place her down.
Oh, you'll be happy with us, my dear.
6 weeks passed, and slowly but surely she earned their favor and their respect.
That chili you made was delicious.
Yes.
So glad.
And eclairs were sublime.
Oh, and
Until-
next we will have our dancing lessons.
I made a ratter for the wee one.
Oh, so kind.
The dancing lessons were joyous events that lasted for hours into the night.
And about face? Oh, this
And
looks like that.
finally, Jean-Paul, believe it or not, my sweet Claire became the leader of the band of thieves.
I brought you some more booty, madam.
What you did to that woman that we captured yesterday was just brilliant.
Ah, yes.
I've never seen so much blood.
And I had gone back to your estate, madame, to bring your final items of luxury, and there was a note here addressed to you.
Oh, dare I say, open it.
It's from a Mr. Robert.
Open it faster.
It reads, "My dear Claire, for I am the one who was forced and tricked and made to have Martin become the poop boy
By who?
by
He said my name, and as he uttered the name Claude, I saw my sweet love's face cave in.
my Claude. Must be okay. Who is this? What is this meaning of this, my queen?
Do you remember when you met me in the carriage and you kidnapped me and said you were going to hold me for ransom?
Aye.
And you beat up the man that I was with?
Aye.
That is Claude.
She explained.
For you see, my life was falling to pieces. My husband's job had been demoted. My family turned against me. And this letter shows that it was all by Claude's doing. He ruined my life so that I could think that he was the only one to save it.
Suddenly, Jean-Paul, I saw a strength, a stamina, a metal within that woman that I had never seen before. She positively roared like a lioness. Sadly, at that point, she noticed my eyeball in the crevice of the wall. She stormed out of the den. She saw me. She grabbed me by the lapel of my coat and beat me gratuitously. Until at last, I fled, begging for her forgiveness and yet receiving nothing but these final words of scorn.
I will never love you.
And so, Jean-Paul, in disgrace, I crawled back to my cave, and I shall take this blood-soaked fabric and trust that if I throw it into the woods, perhaps some wild beast will find it and hopefully deliver it to you. Your sorry friend, Claude.
Jean-Paul to Claude. Per your request, my friend, I write to you after these many years to recount to you that moment when you, a haggard man, stumbled into a wedding. A wedding, of course, between the son of Claire and Martine. It was a regal affair, all the people about. Their son, now at the age of 18, with long black locks and adorned in red cape, and you, appearing as nothing more than a homeless man, watching as the life that you longed for so many years unveiled before your eyes, as he, a proud boy, displayed his birthmark to all and proclaimed,
I am the #1 piss boy!
I, as the officiant, glanced across the wedding to see your sorry face through a glazed window. You attempted to stumble in, and that is when people looked upon you with such scorn and dismay. None remembered your face, and they only saw a vagrant.
Who is this man at my wedding? I thought my bride was to walk down soon.
Your once
Someone take him
beloved
away.
brother took you by the arm.
Brother, take him by the arm.
He knelt you down and lambasted you. In such a way I'd never seen before. And then he said words as well.
This man looks familiar. Yes!
My love! It is you!
Claude,
Yes, it is I, Claude.
Such ferocity I had never seen a woman strike a man's face.
Well done, Mama.
let us get our son married, shall we?
Yes, but, you know, in a way, looking upon this foul creature, laid low from his once former glory, the man who once almost successfully tore our family apart, well, it fills me with the utmost gratitude. Why, in a sense, if it hadn't been for him, we may all not be here today. If I hadn't been demoted to poop boy all those many years ago, well, I may have just continued to rest on my laurels and enjoy the station of my good name, granted only to me by the seats of my forefathers. For truly I stood on the shoulders of those giants as #1 piss boy. But when I was demoted, I learned the value of hard work, and now I pass on to my son the values of that hard work, that he may become piss boy through the merits of his own efforts, and not just his family name. Why, my dear Claire, if you had not become the captain of those land pirates and come storming back into town on your land boat that but some may also known as coach or carriage. And, well, using them to help reunite with your father and make peace with your brother in some form or fashion, though he still stands there making his faces.
It only brought us closer and more in love.
Ah, joyous! And I, too, have news to share. Being very, 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 very old now.
Extremely old, Grandpa. It's unusual.
I'm 103.
A miracle.
My Cavaline is with child.
Truly a miraculous day.
I'm gonna be a mommy.
And so, Claude, you could take it no longer, and so you crept on hand and knee down to that pond where you'd met her so long ago, where the ducks no longer quacked, and you were alone, except for I, behind a tree, where you made the proclamation that you would return to the career that was looked upon so lowly.
Yes, I shall return to the career that was looked upon so lowly, that of rear guard.
And, per your request, I write this all down. I know not why you wish to torture yourself with these memories, but that is the way of the rear guard. Jean-Paul.
And so, my dear reader, I give you these letters so that you may know my shame and learn from my mistakes. All of the other people in our tale lived happily for 3 months when a fire razed the town and killed them all, except for Jean-Paul, who went insane and was imprisoned for petty theft. I alone have been cursed to live, but if one person in the future, some 276 years from now, reads these letters, learns from my mistake, and loves truly, but within propriety, then I will have my purpose served. The end. Surprise for you tonight. It's a wig! Yes, the whole time it was a wig. I know. Friends, thank you so much for being here. My name is Ken Adams. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater. This is the first night of our final weekend of performances of My Dearest Love. We're back here tomorrow night, Saturday night, and then a Sunday matinee. If you had a good time, come back, see it again. It's always brand new, always improvised, and all based on your suggestions. Our next show in July is Spontaneous Soap, a full-length improvised play in the style of a 1950s classic soap opera, and each of the 8 performances will continue the story the way soap operas did. So that's in July. Look for it on the internet, and come on back and see us in July. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization addition, we rely very heavily on the generosity of our patrons. If you have a couple of bucks and you wouldn't mind throwing it in that box on your way out, we'd appreciate it very much. Or if you want to write us a great big check, go ahead and grab one of those envelopes and send it to us in the mail. We'd appreciate that very much as well. If you have a friend in the cast and you want to say hello, we'll be out back by the stage door in about 10 or 15 minutes. Thank you again for being here. Have a wonderful night. We love you.